Every year, you have the financial planning decision. It's really an obligation to determine whether you should do a Roth conversion or not. Well, how do you know? 5 steps. I've got the 5 steps that you need to do to determine whether it makes sense for you to do a Roth conversion. Got that more coming up. I put a lot of reminders in my phone. I'm not sure if you do. I can't survive without it. I've got daily reminders. Guys, I'm going to admit this. We've got a stinky kid. We've got 3 kids. The youngest, he's a stinky kid. He's 7. He hates taking showers. If it was up to him, he would never, ever take a shower. In fact, when we force him to do it, he cries. I mean, he's 7. He's a big 7-year-old, and he cries. And so, honestly, our life is fast-paced, and the kids are all the kids are in travel sports, and like it's chaos. And so, I have a reminder to say, make sure Easton takes a shower. I've got a reminder also every night, right around snack time, that says what you eat is more important than how much you exercise. I need that daily reminder because the deal I make with myself is, you made it through another day. You deserve this snack, this treat. You'll work out extra in the morning, and that's a lie. That doesn't work. By the way, I ignore that reminder with authority every single night. I've got quarterly reminders. I've got a lot of annual reminders, and I just had my annual reminder go off on my phone that just said Roth conversion ? And guys, I live and breathe this stuff. I love it. I'm a geek. And so this is never too far out of my mind, but there's certainly cobbler's kids without shoes. It's certainly very easy to think about the clients we serve and our team, and my brain is focused on their strategies, and I don't pause to think about my own. And so this is my annual reminder. Hey, should you do a Roth conversion? I'm recording this right now in the fall of 2025. That's a great time to have this reminder go off. If you're working with a certified financial planner, that's doing comprehensive financial planning. Tax planning is one of the 6 areas of your financial life. This is going to be on their radar. You need to make sure it's on your radar. So how do you know? How do you answer that question? Should I do a Roth conversion? Well, as I said, you got to be working with your certified financial planner. They've got to have a perspective, a view of all 6 areas of your financial life, because planning is all about bringing synergy. These seemingly disconnected parts of your financial life that really don't touch each other, they do. They not only touch, they overlap, and you need to make decisions that bring synergy, that bring multiple benefits to different areas of your financial life. The Roth conversion has that potential. So the 5 steps, here are the 5 steps you need to go through to determine, well, should you do a Roth conversion? Step number 1, create a tax projection. And you might tap out right here. And I'll tell you, like, this is so nerdy, and me and our entire team of financial planners, we love it. Like, we love it. And I can't say it without a smile on my face because it is so nerdy, but we love doing tax projections. What is that? This is where you project out in the fall, before the year is over, you project out, here's what we think your tax return is going to look like. Here's what it's expected that your tax return is going to look like. Here's the amount of income, so this is taking your pay stubs and projecting them out through the end of the year with withholdings and retirement contributions, all of that. You're projecting out your interest and your dividends and your capital gains and any IRA withdrawals, any pensions, any Social Security. You project out all of your income, project out your expenses. Do you think you're going to itemize or not? And do some proactive analysis on what you think is going to happen. And then, so basically create a projected tax return, even though the year's not over yet. Now, this tax projection, you can do it any time during the year. In fact, you've heard me say you need a multi-year tax projection, and yes, you do. But you need to be updating it on an ongoing basis, especially for the current year. But if you've got a lot of moving pieces in your financial life, likely by the time you get to the 4th quarter, or maybe with just a couple months left in the year, that's when you're able to really sharpen the pencil, and it becomes clearer what the year is going to look like from a tax standpoint. So step number 1, build out that tax projection. And if that's not you, you need to be working with a certified financial planner who does comprehensive financial planning. They love doing these things. They will geek out on it. Step number 2, on that tax projection, you then need to look at all of your income minus all your deductions. Okay, what's my taxable income? You need to look at where's my taxable income and how much room is there between my taxable income and the next tax bracket. Say that your tax filing status, married filing jointly, and all of your income minus your expenses, just did this with a couple, their taxable income was going to be around $60,000. Well, they're in the middle of the 12% tax bracket. My opinion, 12% tax bracket, that's pretty low. I'd love to pay a lot of tax. I'd love to pay as much tax as possible at 12%. But married filing jointly, the top of the 12% tax bracket is around 96 grand. So there's room. There's $36,000 of room between where we project their income to be, taxable income to be, and the top of the tax bracket. That's step number 2. Step number 3, and this is critical. You cannot skip this step. If you do a Roth conversion to fill up the rest of that tax bracket, will there be other tax consequences? What are the tax trade-offs? Step number 3 is you need to be on the lookout for tax consequences. In this example, there weren't any. If we bring their income, if we do a Roth conversion, bring their taxable income up to $95,000, $96,000, that doesn't break anything. Their adjusted gross income is still below $150,000 for them. They're both over age 65, so making sure that we got the full senior deduction, new senior deduction, that's important. It wasn't going to push them above the threshold for modified adjusted gross income for IRMA, income-related monthly adjustment amount. That's a surcharge you pay on your Medicare. Those things apply to folks that are retired. If you're in your career, that maybe if you do a Roth conversion and up to the next tax bracket, are you going to lose out on some credits or other deductions? You've got to be aware. Step 3, you've got to be aware of any tax consequences you would have. And this might be where you say, I don't feel comfortable doing this on my own. I got to work with the CFP. They will help you model out to be able to see, well, will there be any tax consequences? That's step 3. Step number 4, you then need to have a plan for the tax withholdings, I've done a lot of videos, create a lot of content on this. You think, well, if I do a Roth conversion, that's taxable. I can withhold taxes, easy peasy. Not at all. The last ditch effort to cover the taxes, the last resort would be to withhold taxes on the conversion. I would much rather have you come up with the taxes a different way. And I've shared videos and ideas on what those different ways are. But if none of those apply, then withhold taxes. But if you can come up with the taxes a different way and you don't have to withhold on the Roth conversion, that means the Roth conversion gets all of the money landing in your Roth to grow tax-free for your financial future. That's the goal. Therefore, you don't want to withhold on the Roth conversion. You want to come up with the taxes a different way. So that's why step number 4 is so important. Have a plan for covering the taxes on the Roth conversion. And then step number 5, the last one before you actually execute the Roth conversion, and that is have a plan for the investment strategy of the Roth conversion. It's sort of a 2-step investment strategy. You need to know, okay, what investments am I going to use from my IRA to do the Roth conversion? There's some precision that you need to, and intentionality you need to apply there. But then more importantly, you've got to decide, how am I going to invest these converted dollars once they land in the Roth? Why is that so important? And most people overlook this. It's important because typically your Roth IRA should be invested a little bit differently maybe than your IRA because of the different tax treatment, or maybe your risk profile is a little bit different. If you're all risk, if you're all aggressive, then it's going to be the same. But if you're getting closer to retirement or maybe in retirement, you're going to want your Roth IRA to take a little bit more risk because the benefit is on the growth. So you want to have more growth potential, but you also want to, likely will have these dollars be the ones that you touch last, meaning they're more likely to be long term. Now, that's part of why you need to be very intentional about how are you going to invest the Roth the converted dollars. But the other reason why is at any time, you neither have the foresight nor the control over whether we see a short-term market downturn. And I'll just tell you, it feels awful if you do a Roth conversion, going back to this scenario, of $35,000, and then all of a sudden the stock market has some volatility, and as soon as it lands, after you paid the tax on $35,000, as soon as it lands in the Roth IRA, it drops to $25,000. That just feels awful. Now, if it makes sense to be aggressive, then there's a chance of that happening. If emotionally that would have you second guess everything and really drive you crazy, you might want to invest that a little bit differently in the short term. So that fifth step is determine your investment strategy with this Roth conversion, both the dollars that you'll pull from the investments you pull from the IRA and how you invest it wisely in the Roth. Once you handle all 5 of those steps, you're clear to go. You're clear to take off. Make sure you do that Roth conversion, withhold the right amount, have the right investment strategy, and you are off to the races. Work with your certified financial planner on that and make sure you answer that question. Should you do a Roth conversion every year? Make sure you answer that wisely. Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.